We are live. Welcome to my video. These are going to be my thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 4, Killer Within. The episode is rated TVMA, so will this video be. And like all other videos I've done on this show, this will contain spoilers for the episode itself, all the ones before it, and I love all these episodes. Let's dive right in. So, not an awful lot with Woodbury in this episode, so I think I will just briefly cover that first. Yeah, I really feel like they're doing a good job making it credible that, you know, this sort of split between Michonne and Andrea, not like a huge split yet, but, you know, yeah, Andrea does on some level want to stay there, stay with those people at least. And yeah, let's see. Typical Merle, that he's like, why didn't we ever hook up? Now, you know, he literally can't just say, you know, you're nice. You know, he can't just pay her a compliment. It has to be, you know, framed in this sort of way. And let's see, yeah, and him insisting to the governor that he wants to look, and the bit where, you know, both Andrea and the governor say at the same time Merle has to go look. You know, they know that both of them know him well enough. Yeah, the little conversation at the table was nice, and, you know, we see now I don't know how much to believe the governor, because he's been proven to lie at least some of the time. But the thing about family, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can imagine we'll find out later if he was telling the truth. And, you know, yeah, the thing with them sharing a glass, you know, they clink glasses. Andrea takes a sip. This is apple juice, not vodka. And he, you know, tells her his real, you know, name's Philip, if that is his real name. And then they say never again. I feel like at this point they should just change it to always say never, because I feel like that's all they say now. I feel like my little bit of performative outrage at something completely inconsequential. Did I sound conservative? I only want to sound conservative when it's obvious that I'm joking. Now, because conservatives are jokes. Yes, let's see. And he's playing golf, hitting the balls at the zombies' heads. Yeah. I think that does pretty well. Yeah, I do really appreciate, you know, the conversation about, you know, I don't know, we could go tomorrow, we could go the day after tomorrow, which understandably Michonne is like, you really want to fight zombies during the day after tomorrow? Did you not? What, with all the wolves and the rising water and the cold chasing them down the hallway? And yeah, that leads us nicely right, but, you know, we're going straight to prison. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Yeah, the sabotage was genuinely really like, holy crap. But yeah, I mean, he didn't have much left to lose. There's that phrase about an animal is never as dangerous as when it is cornered or wounded or something like that, you know. And I guess him screaming was not him being, well, evidently it wasn't like him being eaten. I guess that was just him realizing this is the only way I'm gonna get a chance to get away from here, is to trick Rick. What a dick. And yeah, that was very, very effective, super effective. And so he's luring walkers with the meat, and, you know, cutting up, you know, he opens the gate. So what, opening the gate with, you know, destroying the chain, and starts the alarm. Just, yeah, Which, yeah, I mean, either he started some alarms in the prison, or we're about to head into the other world. One or the other. And let's see, yeah, Rick not quite knowing if he can trust. Let's see, one of them was apparently named Axel. I did not catch the other's name, so I'm gonna name the duo Axel Rose. And yeah, wait, is that, which one was Axel again? Okay, let's see, I think Oscar. Yeah, Axel and Oscar. And then Andrew was the one who was doing sabotage, I think. Yeah. Oscar and Axel, yeah, Rick doesn't, Axel, Oscar, can Rick trust them? Yeah, it is this thing of, like, as far as he knows, nobody else is alive in the prison that would even consider doing this. Certainly it's not one of the Atlanta survivors. And I really appreciated the again, show full of ethical, moral discussions, moral issues. And yeah, this thing of, like, Daryl points out, they're not psychos. I've known people like them, if not for the grace of God, I'd be in there with them. And then, I forget which of them, maybe T-Dog, one of the others is like, so you think they should stay? And he's like, oh, hell no. Because, yeah, like, he has some sympathy for them, but his, priority is with the group. And let's see, yeah, really, really tense when, Andrew jumps out, and there's a fight between him and Rick, and the gun gets knocked out of the hand, and Rick goes for it, and then it ends up in Oscar's hand. And yeah, for like a few seconds, it's like, I mean, he's known Oscar for longer. Rick has been trying to, Rick doesn't have a lot of empathy for him and Axel, but ultimately he does shoot Andrew and then just hand the gun to Rick. That was also a tense, like, ultimately I'm not sure it was more than a few seconds between him shooting, Andrew and then handing the gun to Rick, but it felt much longer because it's so tense. And let's see, I think that pretty much covers the, yeah, I think I will move on to, the thing with, Glenn and Maggie, they're in the tower. They were in the tower just last night. And, like, calls for him, it's like, and Daryl goes, are you coming? I mean, I think they would if you weren't clockwalking them. Jeez. But yeah, and like, everyone on the ground is, like, laughing. I love, like, the show is sex positive. It's not, like, shaming anyone for sex, it's just this thing of, like, yeah, they're young, they're in love, they have the stamina, they just need to get far enough away from Herschel, so, I mean, at this point, he's given the couple his blessing, but it's still awkward if they're too close. But yeah, So yeah, it's very much a, Glenn had sex with Maggie twice and once this morning, and it is, at the end of the day, like, there are still things that need doing. There's still the zombie apocalypse. They found a place to stay, but it's yeah. Let's see that. Yeah, a lot of great tension as the walkers, you know, just the moment that you see several walkers behind Carl is like, ah, you know, and you know, Herschel walking you know, he's over eager, but ultimately it goes well, you know, and I 100% believe he would struggle to, you know, he's used to being able to handle things, so this kind of bump in the road is you know, he's not gonna want to let it slow him down very much. And the thing with, you know, Ratia, give me a couple of days, I will win. And yeah, just again, the prison, you know, there for a little bit there we thought, oh, it's safe, you know, because of the fences and the gates and all of this stuff. But as the show has done several times before, yeah, there's you know, it goes from seeming safe to being underlined it is not safe. You know, they must deal with like a dozen walkers or more in just this one episode, in this one location, like overall location of the prison. And yeah, they're, you know, running down the halls, and every so often down one certain hallway there's walkers. Poor T-Dog, although at least he did somewhat go out on his own terms. You know, once he had been bitten, he was, you know, we know how it goes. Once bitten, twice shy, so he just throws himself at some of the walkers, gives Carol a chance. According to IMDb Trivia, originally Carol was supposed to die in this episode. I really appreciate that she didn't. I definitely think it was more than enough to you know, putting the audience through the ringer. Because Laurie also dies. Just like I love that on this show no one is truly safe. Like, she's been with us from the start. Like, she only makes a brief appearance in the season 1 opener, but even so, you know, and she's in all of season 1 and 2, and just, yeah, and that was actually like Rick's motivation in the season 1 opener, when he's, you know, the reason he's so determined is he wants to find her and Carl. And I do appreciate that she does manage to, you know, the baby survives. And such a messed up sequence. Okay, just before I get to that, I do just want to say, according to IMDb Trivia, Laurie, you know, considered the baby a death. Let's see if I can find the exact wording. According to Sarah, Sarah says Laurie always saw her pregnancy as a death sentence. So that recontextualizes, you know, she chose the baby's life over her own when she vomited up the abortion pills. So yeah, and so Maggie doesn't, you know, this is the first time she's ever done it. Like, Herschel has basically, like, given her some instruction, but, you know, she doesn't have the right equipment. The machine that goes bing is nowhere to be found. And in addition, you know, she cuts, and Laurie screams, and Carl is like, what are you doing to my mom? Because he doesn't, you know, it looks like it's yeah. And also, you know, he's still in some ways very innocent. He's like, is something wrong? Can you know, is she struggling to breathe? You know, he doesn't understand that that's, you know, I've never been present at a birth other than my own, and for reasons I think you can surmise, I do not recall that event, but I am told reliably, yeah, you know, a woman giving birth is supposed to breathe like that. But yeah, if you don't know, it does sound like, you know, gasping for air or something. But yeah, not only does Carl have to witness it, he has to, like, get involved, and yeah, you can understand, because yeah, she's like, I have to be able to you know, see better. It's just holy crap. Yeah. And you know, Rick's face when he realizes is also just so devastating. And it is, again, this wonderful mix of emotion, because, like, obviously he is happy that at least his baby survived, but you know, he was hoping that Laurie would as well. Yeah, really, really excellent episode. Really, just, yeah. You know, when Maggie comes out, you know, cradling the baby, which actually, you know, that is one thing I do want to briefly say. Lauren Cohan, you know, yeah, the scene was so troublesome that she nearly quit the show, and it wasn't until a talk with co-star Steven Yeun that she changed her mind and continued with the show. I'm really glad, you know, good on you, Steven, Mr. Yeun. Let's see. I think that was what I... Oh, right, yeah. The IMDb trivia also notes the episode title, The Killer Within, has a double meaning as a reference to the unborn baby being a threat to Laurie's life, as well as the subplot involving the unknown person sabotaging the prison from the inside. And, right, for the C-section scene, Sarah Wayne Kelly's drew on her real-life childbirth experience, which she described as a battle. And, yeah, for the birth scene, it's a radio-controlled prop baby with moving arms and legs. That was not... You know, they do use real-life twins for the... when she's cradling it, she walks out. Yeah, and the memory of the fallen in this episode is honored by a replacement of regular music with utter silence during the entirety of the end credit. And... yeah. You know, like, when Maggie comes out cradling the baby, you know, it's a very, like, good news, bad news sitch. So, Rick, on the one hand, your communication problems with Laurie are a thing of the past.